Good morning and a happy Monday. Wishing you a great week ahead as well. Welcome to today's episode of Morning Wealth. Three things that we will talk about. Blue wave is now positive. Week ahead, and offshore yuan falls in early trading. S&P 500 rose on Friday, closing out its biggest weekly advance in 3 months as investors welcome signs pointing to a decisive result in next month's US presidential election. The week started with Trump in the hospital being treated for the new virus and former Vice President Joe Biden widening his lead in national polls, finished as the best stretch in the index since the week of July 2nd. The benchmark was up 0.9% on Friday, extending the week's gain to about 3.8%. Following a very volatile September, October has started with a persistent march higher, with the index up for two consecutive weeks. Some of the uncertainty surrounding the presidential elections appear to recede in the week as traders began to unwind some of their cautious bets. Polling has further consolidated around the Biden advantage in the presidential election, and option markets have significantly reduced the premium that they are assigning to the date, is what one of the strategists that JP Morgan wrote. Surveys and talks with investors have recently found a flip-flop on sentiment in the event of a Biden win. Investors previously said that it would be bad for stocks, but now they are predicting that it would boost markets. So a Democrat blue wave victory has flipped from being a bear catalyst to a bull catalyst, is what an analyst at Bank of America wrote as well. Investors have piled into individual stocks and sectors that would benefit from the Biden presidency. iShares Global Clean Energy ETF surged to the highest level in 10 years this week as bullish option trading tied to the fund ramped up. Biden has proposed a $2 trillion plan to combat climate change. The pandemic's impact on the economy will get fresh attention this week as the US heads into earnings season. Analysts are expecting companies in the S&P 500 to report a median 20% drop in the earnings per share. But they have actually grown more optimistic in the past 3 months, increasing the median EPS estimate by about 4.1%. So this is the first time since 2018 that the analysts have actually grown more optimistic during a quarter. So it'll be interesting to note how we actually fare through this earnings season. The week ahead, US banks kick off the third quarter reporting season with Citi and JP Morgan offering results tomorrow, followed by Bank of America, Goldman Sachs and Wells Fargo on Wednesday. Morgan Stanley is on Thursday and BNY Mellon on Friday. Other companies that we'll be watching out for would be BlackRock, J&J, Delta, ASML, TSMC, Honeywell and Schlumberger. Apple is due to unveil 4 iPhones at its latest product launch dubbed High Speed. The redesigned devices will feature 5G, upgraded cameras and wider range of screen sizes. Online event will mark the company's second product launch of this year. Remember, Apple showcased refreshed iPads and Apple Watches last month. Lastly, on the forex front, the offshore yuan fell in early trading after Chinese policymakers acted to restrain the currency's strength by removing rules that made it expensive to bet against the offshore yuan. So the PBOC lowered its risk reserve ratio for financial institutions when conducting some FX forward trading to 0 from 20%. So instead of paying a 20% margin when you're shorting the yuan, now it is 0. The Chinese central bank said that it will continue to maintain flexibility in the yuan exchange rate and stabilize market expectations. On the economic data front for the week, retail sales are scheduled for release along with Empire State and Philadelphia's manufacturing surveys. Many Americans received fewer jobless benefits in the month of September, so it will be important to see how this impacted spending. This will be coming out on Friday. The retail sales numbers will be coming out on Friday of this week. Chances are consumption declined, especially with equity market and election volatility. Manufacturing surveys will also provide an important look at the momentum of the economy, but in many ways, the University of Michigan's consumer sentiment will be the most telling with regards to how Americans feel of the current environment. Virus cases are rising across Europe, forcing governments to announce fresh restrictions that will take a big bite of the region's second half recovery. Considering that, ZEW's survey, which measures investor sentiment, is critical, and a significant deterioration in it would not be surprising. So these are the things that we'll be looking forward to this week on the FX and the macro front. That's the update. Stay safe and healthy, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.